Hi, I'm Pam McGee, and I'm Pam McGee, and I'm a volunteer at Shelter on the Hill. I'd like to introduce to you one of our new pups at the shelter. This is Sunny, and I'll go ahead and let Kristin introduce.
Hi, I'm Kristin. I am also a volunteer here at Shelter on the Hill. As Pam has already stated, this is Sony, and this is her sibling Rain. Now, I'm sure most of you have already seen their sibling Dottie, whom we had as a neonatal puppy. We had her early. So these are her siblings. They are rescued from a foster home, and they are looking for homes of their own. Sony is a bit more active, a bit more outgoing, so she'd be great with to have kids. They love to play with kittens and cats. They're already working on their social skills with other dogs, adults, and puppies alike. Rain here is a bit more subdued. She's a much calmer, quieter puppy, so she'll be great for any family, really, that just wants something to laze around the house or the yard, take leisurely walks. So both of these puppies will be fantastic additions to any home. And on that, we'll have... On that, we have a little information on how do you introduce your puppy to a home. Some people, they've rescued dogs as adults for most of their lives, and they've never had a puppy. Puppies are much different from adult dogs. We have our teenage years, we have our terrible twos, right on up into our young adult age. Pam, do you have any questions?
Well, I do. I mean, if say for a puppy, I know how it's easier to maybe work, for me at least, to work with an older dog, but with a puppy on potty training him, getting him to go outside, do you treat it the same way as you would an older dog?
Okay.
I mean,
That's a great question. Potty training is exceptionally important. The biggest thing that I would have to say is set up a routine. And think of it as puppies, these youngs, you do not want to go beyond 2 hours without offering them to go outside. And then as they get older, the rule of thumb, for every month, you can add another 30 minutes. So these pups are 3 months old, essentially. Same thing, I wouldn't go past 2 hours, and that'd be a 4-month-old puppy. So an hour and a half for these guys. Once they're 4 months, you can go 2 hours, 5 months, 2.5, 6, 3 hours. And then once they're about a year old, then you can start pushing it, your normal work day, 6 to 8 hours. But be consistent, offer 30 minutes before you feed them, offer 30 minutes after you feed them. And again, restricting water after a certain time of night will limit your accidents at night. Does that help?
Yeah, I have another question. What about, because sometimes in the shelter we'll get dogs that might be a little food aggressive, I guess is the best way of saying it. What would be the best way to approach that, too?
Okay, so in a puppy's case, if you have a puppy that's seems to be a bit resource guarding, I like to start with hand feeding. It just establishes that relationship, leadership-wise, that I am giving you the food. I control the food. I control how much you give. And then I also make them work for it. So even though that these puppies are 12 weeks old, I still ask them to sit. And they may only be for a second, and then I'll give them 2 kibbles, or maybe 3 seconds, and I build from that. But absolutely start working your puppies now and building that leadership relationship. The other thing that I like to do with feed time, aside from hand feeding, is I like to give them the bowl, but then I also like to take it away from them. When I take it away from them, do not pull it, but lift it up. If you pull it away from them, they start lunging after it. But if you pull it up, they go, oh, where's it going? Where's it going? Okay, I'll sit.
Okay.
So that, again, it's a positive fashion to redivert their attention from guarding my food to, oh, what are we doing now?
Okay. Okay. So what if I'm trying to stump her. So which is really hard to do. Um, how do you work, say, if you have two dogs? I mean, do you want to feed them separately? Say, like, if someone came in and they wanted to adopt both these puppies at the same time, what would you suggest they do? Because I've had two dogs before and failed miserably. So give us some hints on what would be the best way to handle two dogs, especially, once again, with the feeding, and all that, that fun stuff.
Absolutely. It's a great question. I have 3 dogs personally, and feed time is a ritual for us. And they all eat at the same time out of their own bowl. Now, to accomplish so yes, we'll be in the same room, but a very specific corner. So that way you have 2 walls where they unless they're turning all the way around, they're not looking at the other dog. It also helps if you are there and you have corners, you are the referee. If one tries to leave their bowl, put them back. Put them back. If you keep telling them no, you can't go over here. You have to stay over there. You're establishing the boundaries of, okay, this is my spot. I can't go over there. And the same thing, for example, if you have a 10-year-old dog, a 5-year-old dog, and then a puppy. The puppy's going to be a bit harder to control, so feed her in the crate first while you are working on this new routine with your older dogs. Old dogs can learn new tricks too. Teach the 10-year-old and the 5-year-old, these are your corners. Get them rock solid on it so they don't even look at the other dog anymore, and then add in your puppy in their own corner. So you'll have 3 different corners.
So you're treating the puppy the same way as you would an older dog.
Absolutely.
You don't want to do, yeah.
Not at all. The sooner you start establishing boundaries and rules with your puppies, the sooner they're going to understand what life is about, and they're going to be fabulous dogs. But when you start babying them and treating them like they're cute, oh, it's cute that they're nipping at my shoes. Oh, it's cute that they're jumping on me. They aren't going to be little forever. And you're doing them an injustice to set them up with one set of rules until they're a year old, and then you're completely changing those rules once they're an adult. That's not fair to them. It's better to be consistent with your rules, and then your whole pack will follow.
Okay. Well, for me, I think you've answered enough questions. I sure learned a lot, as I always do every time I come here at the shelter. But thank you for viewing, and make sure you check out our website, which is shelteronthehill.org. And our phone number, if you care to call and check on these puppies, is 248-5018. So come by Lebec and check us out. See you soon.